Do narcissists always have ulterior motives when they talk to you and they speak to you? And the answer is, well, of course not. Sometimes they just have conversations. But it's also very difficult to tell because they are so good at masking when what they say is ulterior. That is to say, very self-serving, and when they're just talking. So what I do, I've got 9 things. What I do, number 1, is when a narcissist talks to me, somebody I know is a narcissist. First thing I do is I want to know why is he saying this, or why is she saying what she is saying. I just kind of assume that there is a motive. Now, if there is no ulterior motive, fine, I'm okay with that. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. Just be careful. So number 1 is ask why. Number 2, I want to keep in mind, be mindful of this, that in a narcissist's brain, truth is whatever he or she thinks. By virtue of the fact, and this is the essence of arrogant narcissism, by virtue of the fact they thought of a thought. They thought a thought, therefore the thought is truth. Why? Because they thought it. They don't need any verification. They don't need scientific studies. They don't need anything or any approval. They don't need any testing. It's just right because they said it. And if you disagree with them, they may get angry at you. And chances are they'll argue with you ad infinitum. I mean, they just love to argue because they can't be wrong. So truth is what they think is number 2. I keep that always in the back of my mind. And number 3, they love to rationalize their bad behavior. Why do you do that? Why did you steal from that guy? Well, I stole from him, but they'll never admit to stealing. They'll just say, he's a bad guy. He's a thief. Projection. They will talk about other people, and they talk about me. They talk about you as if you are the bad guy. So somehow, some way, they got to rationalize their bad behavior. And I have told you often about a narcissist in my life, and his bad behavior is excused by the fact that he has this superior motive in that he is fighting the New World Order. Now, I'm not saying there is no conspiracy for a New World Order. That's not the topic at hand. But he uses that as an excuse to do what he does. Well, what does he do? Doesn't have a driver's license, doesn't have a checking account, doesn't have a credit card, doesn't have any credit cards. Doesn't have a place to live, doesn't have a job. He just bums off of other people. Why? Well, ostensibly because he wants to stay out of a system that is going to ultimately destroy the world. In reality, the guy's a thief, and the government is after him for good reason. He has committed so many crimes. He has stolen from so many people. He's had his had his pay. What do they call it when they take money out of your pay? I forget what they call that. But he's had that done so many times that the only way he can defend himself is either pay his bills, come clean, do time in jail, or can hide. So what's he going to say? Where are you hiding? He's not going to say, well, because I'm a bad guy and I'm going to be prosecuted, I'm going to be sued. They're going to do things to me. I'm not going to say that. So he's got to come up with some other rationalization. This sounds realistic to him and sounds realistic to others. And you know what? I've got to a point where I used to say, I don't think he really believes that, but I think he's lied to himself enough that he may have even convinced himself that that's what he's doing. But he still takes advantage of people. He still steals from people. So number 4 is this, what I would call unintentional hiding. And that's what we just said. That they come to a place, some narcissists come to a place where they believe their own lies. And so they are speaking from this false memory, which is a real thing. Google it sometime. So they have created a false reality, an alternative reality in their mind. They have an ulterior motive with an alternate reality. And it's no longer something they're doing intentionally by hiding their past. They honestly believe that they're doing something good. Well, some of them. All right, maybe none of them, but I'm thinking maybe there may be some out there. So what I do when they talk, I got to keep that in the front of my mind that, maybe this guy actually believes his own nonsense. Number 5 is his motive. Remember, we talked about that, is to elevate himself or herself. The motive of a narcissist is why we call them narcissists, is to elevate themselves. So when they speak to me, I want to know, what is he saying or she's saying that is elevating self. They're good at hiding it. They say things that promote themselves very subliminally. You may not catch on to it, but after a while you see the pattern, and yeah, they do that. Number 6 is not only do they elevate themselves, but they depreciate you. When they say something, it may be so they are putting you down. You may not even realize it, but they are also putting down others. This is important. When you hear a narcissist, or anybody for that matter, who is constantly slandering other people, you got to keep this in the front of your mind. If they do that to others, they will do it to me. If somebody slanders somebody else, they will slander you. When they speak to you, when they speak to me, what I'm thinking is this person depreciating me? Is he putting me down? Is he or she being patronizing? Why are they doing this? I want to know. I want to keep that in the front of my mind. Number 7 is good old-fashioned misdirection. They want to take my thoughts, my perspective, my understanding of reality, and shift it. They want me to see something else as their reality. So this guy says, the reason I don't have a checking account isn't because the court took it away from me, because I didn't show up in court. They won't say that, but what they will say is this thing about the New World Order taking over, and so they don't want to have a checking account, and they want to get me to agree with them and to think the way they think. So a lot of what they say is just good old-fashioned misdirection. Same thing with the smear campaign about other people. This may be a person or individuals that I know, and I've never had a problem with them. I've never seen anything wrong with them. Maybe they do have some serious character flaws. I don't know. But this person, this narcissist, wants me to think they do, whether they do or whether they don't. It's misdirection. Number 8 is sometimes you got to pay attention to the mood they are in. I just can't overemphasize how important this is. One thing I noticed is when people, I hate to say some people are my enemies, but they are. There's some people, I don't know why. I think I try to be a nice guy. Why do people not like me? I don't know. But I've noticed when people don't like me, if they talk to me and they're in a good mood, are you paying attention? When they talk to me and they are in a good mood, it's because they see themselves as winning. They see themselves on top of the fight. They're defeating me, so I listen for that. On the other hand, if there is somebody, and again, I don't like to think of people as enemies, but some of them are, but if they're mad at me when they talk to me, they come across as very angry. And by the way, some people, everyone's their enemy, so, I guess I would be included in that. But if they are angry or very elusive, like they just don't want to talk to me, it's because they see me as winning. So, when a narcissist speaks to me, I want to pay attention. What mood is this person in? Are they giddy and happy? Are they depressed or angry or elusive? What are they doing? Or somewhere in the middle. That is a good gauge, at least in my experience. I'm in my 70s. I've learned a thing or two over the years. Sharing with you some of those things I've learned is people communicate just in their mood. And that brings us to number 9. This encompasses mood, but it's non-verbal communication, non-verbal cues. The way they talk to you. If a narcissist is overly friendly, and you know this guy's a narcissist, he's coming on. I guarantee it. Just like the old used car salesman illustration we use, they'll be friendly to you until they get the sale. Then once they get the sale, they don't want to talk to you. Unless they're really good salesmen, then they'll continue to be kind to you so they can make another sale, hopefully in a few years, or that you would refer them to your friends. But a lot of these guys, these salesmen, they just don't think that way because, quite frankly, they're just not that bright. But the narcissist will often send you cues, and if he is overly friendly, stop and think about that as love bombing. And if they're good at it, they know not to overdo it. They know just that right mix, that right temperature, where the love bombing, love bonding just mixes perfectly. It's kind of like a chef. They know exactly how to make this so it tastes good. So you got to watch out for those nonverbal cues. And when the trauma bonding starts, you find they're not being friendly anymore. Nope, not going to be friendly to you. But then they will be friendly to draw you back in. Not going to be friendly so you start walking away. Then be friendly to draw you back in. That's the bond. You like this person being friendly to you. You like this person. And they know that. So they use that as, well, it's kind of like a fish. You know, you ever gone fishing and you reel them in, you reel them out, or they pull away, and eventually, what do? You wear them out, right? Now, I'm not a fisherman, but that's what fishermen tell me. You just kind of let them go, and eventually they wear out, then you can pull them in the boat. How do we tie these 9 things together? Well, we do it this. We just understand that the core thinking process of a narcissist is, I'm talking about the core, the foundation, the bottom line. It's not that difficult. I mean, it's really kind of simple. Is they're just overly obsessed with themselves, and from that springs all of these things. You are their source of supply. They've got an appetite for their ego, and they want to take advantage of you to supply that appetite, or supply the food for the appetite, or the drug for that addiction. However you want to frame it, however, whatever metaphor you want to use. That's what they're doing. That's how you tie all this together. If a person is selfish, self-obsessed, they may not be a full-blown narcissist, but in my mind, and everybody's a little bit selfish. I mean, we should be. You should be self-responsible, right? But these guys take it to beyond the pale, so to speak, or outside the pole, or beyond the boundaries, however you want to say that. Watch out for them because, hey, they're going to get you. Listen to what they say. There's a dot in the lower right-hand corner. It's red, got a thumb in it. When you click on that dot, you subscribe to our YouTube channel, become part of our family. Don't forget, click the bell so you get notifications. And there's a rectangle, lower left-hand corner. You want to hear some more? Let's keep on talking. You can binge if you like. Just click that rectangle, and we'll continue our conversation together. See you all next time.